Space, the final frontier. It whispers to us. It beckons us. It calls out in the vast emptiness a siren song that few can resist. The allure of the unknown, the promise of discovery, and the thrill of exploration drive us forward into the abyss, but it also holds secrets. Secrets that can terrify. Secrets that lie in wait, hidden in the shadows of distant stars, lurking in the cold, dark corners of the universe. Kepler-186f, a planet light years away, held such a secret. A secret that would change everything we thought we knew about the cosmos. It was a beacon of hope, a potential second Earth, a place where life might thrive. It was a world of promise, a world of mystery. Its landscapes were alien yet strangely familiar, its atmosphere a tantalizing mix of the known and the unknown. Scientists were eager to uncover its secrets, to learn what lay beneath its surface, but it was also a world of unimaginable horror, a place where nightmares became reality, where the very fabric of space and time seemed to twist and warp. The whispers from the void grew louder, more insistent, more terrifying. I first heard the whispers from Kepler-186f as a young astrophysicist. The signals were faint, they were distorted, but they were there. A distress call, a plea for help. We thought we had discovered a civilization in need, a chance to make contact with extraterrestrial life. Or so we thought. The signals were a puzzle, a riddle wrapped in static and noise. We spent years trying to decode them, to understand their meaning. But the more we listened, the more we realized how little we knew. Years later, I sit in the control room. The room is filled with the hum of machinery, the soft glow of monitors casting eerie shadows on the walls. I am older now, wiser, but the mystery of Kepler-186f still haunts me. I listen to the silence that followed the last transmission from Kepler-186f, a silence that is deafening in its intensity, a void that seems to swallow all sound, all hope, the silence that screams louder than any scream. It is a silence that speaks of loss, of despair, of something gone terribly wrong. It is a silence that chills me to the bone. What happened out there? What did we miss? What did we fail to understand? The questions swirl in my mind, unanswered, unanswerable. The silence offers no clues, no comfort. What happened to our astronaut alone on that distant world? Did they find what they were looking for? Or did they become another whisper in the void, another lost soul in the vast expanse of space? The mystery of Kepler-186f remains, a whisper from the void, a secret that may never be revealed. But we keep listening, keep searching, driven by the hope that one day we will understand. Kepler-186f, a distant world orbiting a star far from our own. An exoplanet in the habitable zone of a red dwarf star, a place where we believed life could thrive. We called it Earth's twin, a mirror image of our home, or so we thought. We thought it was our salvation, a new beginning for humanity. We were wrong. Initial scans painted a picture of a paradise, lush vegetation, abundant water, a world teeming with potential, a world ripe for life, a place where we could start anew, free from the troubles of Earth. But the reality was far more sinister. Hidden beneath the surface was a truth we were not prepared for. The planet was shrouded in a perpetual twilight, a dim, eerie light that never changed. The red dwarf sun cast long, eerie shadows. The silence was deafening, a silence that spoke of desolation, broken only by the howl of the wind, a constant, mournful sound that echoed through the empty landscape. It was a world of isolation, a world of secrets, a place where the very air seemed to whisper of forgotten things, a world that would soon claim one of our own, an astronaut lost to the unknown, a reminder that not all discoveries lead to salvation. Some lead to isolation and the haunting realization that we are truly alone in the universe. His name was Dr. Sam Harmon, astronaut, scientist, pioneer, a man who had dedicated his life to the pursuit of knowledge, to the exploration of the unknown. He had trained for years, preparing his mind and body for the challenges of space travel. He was ready for anything, or so he thought. He was the first human to set foot on Kepler-186f, A monumental achievement, a moment that would be etched in the annals of history. The culmination of decades of research, planning and sacrifice. The world watched in awe as he planted the flag, a symbol of human ingenuity and perseverance. He was also the last. The mission, once filled with hope and promise, had taken a tragic turn. The rest of the crew, his friends and colleagues, were lost to the unforgiving void of space. Sam was left alone, the sole survivor of a dream turned nightmare. Sam was a man of science, a man of logic. He had always believed that there was a rational explanation for everything. But as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, he found himself questioning everything he had ever known. The vast emptiness of Kepler-186f was unlike anything he had ever experienced. But even he couldn't escape the loneliness of Kepler-186f. The isolation was suffocating, a constant reminder of his solitude. The planet, once a beacon of hope, had become a prison. The silence was deafening, a void that seemed to swallow him whole. The silence gnawed at him. It was a living, breathing entity, a relentless force that chipped away at his sanity. Every creak of his suit, every whisper of the wind seemed amplified in the oppressive stillness. He longed for the familiar sounds of Earth, the hum of machinery, the chatter of his crewmates. The isolation wore him down. Each day was a battle, a struggle to maintain his grip on reality. He tried to keep busy, to focus on his research, but the weight of his solitude was always there, lurking in the shadows. The days blended together, a monotonous blur of routine and repetition. His only companions were the ghosts of his memories, the faces of his loved ones, the echoes of laughter from a life left behind. He would close his eyes and see them, his wife, his children, their smiles a bittersweet reminder of what he had lost. The faces of his loved ones. They were his anchor, his lifeline in the sea of emptiness. He would spend hours gazing at their holographic images, replaying old messages, clinging to the fragments of his past. The echoes of laughter from a life left behind. He would remember the sound of his children's laughter, the warmth of his wife's embrace, the simple joys of everyday life. These memories were his refuge, a sanctuary from the relentless solitude. He yearned for human contact, for the sound of another voice, the touch of another hand. The isolation was a constant ache, a void that no amount of scientific discovery could fill. He would talk to himself, to the empty air, just to hear the sound of his own voice, for the sound of another voice. He would listen to the static of the radio, hoping for a signal, a sign that he was not alone. But there was nothing, only the silence. A silence that seemed to stretch on forever, an endless void that threatened to consume him, for the touch of another hand. But there was nothing, only the silence, and the growing sense of dread, a dread that gnawed at his soul, a fear that he would never see another human being again, that he would die alone on this desolate planet, a forgotten footnote in the history of space exploration, and the growing sense of dread. It was a constant presence, a shadow that loomed over him, a reminder of his mortality. He was a pioneer, a trailblazer, but he was also a man who longed for the simple comfort of human connection. In the end, it was not the harsh environment of Kepler-186f that broke him, but the crushing weight of his own solitude. Sam's mission was simple: explore, observe, report. He was to be our eyes and ears on Kepler-186f. He was to pave the way for future colonization. He spent his days collecting data, analyzing samples, sending back reports to Earth. His reports were initially optimistic, full of hope, full of promise. But something changed. His reports became shorter, more sporadic, more cryptic. He spoke of strange occurrences, unexplained phenomena. Something was wrong. Section 5. Anomalies in Paradise. The first sign was the silence, the eerie, unnatural silence. The wind died down. The strange creatures that inhabited the planet vanished. Then came the shadows, flickering shapes at the edge of Sam's vision. They seemed to move with a life of their own, always watching, always present. Sam dismissed them as hallucinations, the product of isolation and stress. But deep down, he knew better. Something was out there. Something ancient, something malevolent, and it was watching him. Section 6. The last transmission. A cry for help. The last transmission came on a day like any other. The red sun hung low in the sky, the shadows stretched long and thin. Sam was alone, as always. His voice was a strained whisper, filled with fear, filled with urgency.
"This is Dr. Sam Harmon," he said, his voice trembling. "Something's happening here, something unexplainable."
His words were cut short by a blood-curdling scream, then silence. The transmission ended abruptly, leaving us with more questions than answers.
We analyzed the transmission. We scrutinized every detail, every crackle of static, every inflection of Sam's voice. There was something in the background, a low hum, a rhythmic pulsing. It defied explanation. Some theorized it was a natural phenomenon, a quirk of Kepler-186f's strange environment. But deep down, we knew better. It was a sign, a message, a warning.
Years later, a classified mission returned to Earth. They brought back fragments, pieces of Sam's suit, his mangled communicator, and a single chilling image. It was a photograph taken by Sam's helmet camera moments before the transmission cut out. It showed a creature of pure nightmare. It had large, multifaceted eyes, razor-sharp claws, and a maw filled with needle-like teeth. It was the stuff of nightmares, the embodiment of our deepest fears.
The discovery sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Kepler-186f was declared off-limits, a quarantined world. But there was one detail that offered a glimmer of hope. A single word whispered by Sam moments before his death. A word buried in the static. A word that changed everything. "Help," he whispered. "Not me. Them. Who were them? What did Sam discover on that desolate world?"
The mystery of Kepler-186f remains unsolved. The truth of what happened to Sam Harmon is lost to the void. But the echoes of that last transmission still haunt us. A chilling reminder of the horrors that lurk in the darkness. A reminder that we are not alone. And somewhere, out there in the vast expanse of space, Kepler-186f waits. Its secrets buried deep beneath the red-tinged soil. Waiting to be unearthed. Waiting to claim its next victim.